What's going on, people? So, I don't remember which one of these I bought first. I feel like it was this one. It only matters to me because I like to record things in the order that I bought them in, especially if when I'm doing multiple in a day. But I honestly just can't remember, so whatever. They still get uploaded in the order in which I bought them, though, like overall chronologically. Helps me to keep track of my life or something like that. But either way, so this one. This is the one that we're here to talk about right now. In some amount of minutes after this moment right here, I'll be talking about these. I just have them both out because I just do. There's no real reason other than that. I just do, right? So this right here, we're going to jump into it. It's going to be a slightly different format, not going to be the full-on breakdown because I don't even know what I'd be talking about here, honestly. Basketball is not my thing, right? Older things, I don't know what was going on there. Some people could talk about this and dudes' accolades and accomplishments. I don't know any of that, right? I just know that these look kind of cool, so here we are. So what is this thing? Yes, this right here, Nike Air Penny 2 Quick Strike in the white and blue colorway. Again, they probably had a real name to this, but I don't know, they're just white and blue to me, right? So let's go ahead and start this thing with the bottom. Down there, what are you looking at? I don't really remember. Oh yeah, that's right. It looks pretty cool. It's got this little spirally sort of thing going on the heel and on the front, so I like that piece. Apparently has some Zoom Air in there, so that's nice, right? That's probably why these felt so nice earlier. And then you got the little 1 cent logo down there in the back piece, right? So a lot of stuff actually happening down there. Usually the bottom of these shoes is plain. I mean, there is a little bit of extra flair on here because I was walking around in these and apparently I walked through some dust or something. So there's that. But anyways, moving along, midsole and whatnot, right? So that right there, kind of busy. It's got this whole thing on the side that kind of swoops up here. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's there, right? And a little carbon fiber sort of deal. And then I'll just show you now real quick. Looking over on the inside or whatever, you got some more of that peeking through here too, right? So there's that. I'll get you some more pictures in here real quick, so you can kind of start taking these in for yourself. Maybe wrap your mind around what you want to feel about these, or maybe you already know, because if you're not me, you probably saw these many times in the past and know exactly what's going on here. This is my first time looking at these up close, right? I looked at them briefly when I did the unboxing, but who knows when that was. So either way, like I said, I'm not going to do the full-on breakdown or whatever. I mean, I kind of just don't want to, and I know that I wouldn't even have anything intelligent to say, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory, but I will say this. I do like the way these look, but we'll get back into that in a little bit. So, backstory time, right? Maybe I'll fill this area with some pictures of random parts of the shoe. When I was in 9th grade, right, living just a little up the road, I saw people walking around with these in high school, in 9th grade that was, specifically, and I thought to myself, well, that's kind of cool. I don't know what's going on there, but it seems fancy, right? And maybe one day I could have something just as fancy. Probably not, because I'm just Tristan Stewart, and I feel like I'm never going to have fancy things. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but I'm building up. So, many moons later, I was able to get a pair, right? And here we are now, me being able to actually talk about these and stuff. Now that I've seen them, got an idea of what they are and picked them up and I'm looking at them, I'm like, wow, this is something. But let's go ahead and get a little bit deeper into that, right? And so now I'm going to give you my full-on personal thoughts. Even though I just said pretty much where I'm going with this, I'm going to get a little bit deeper into it. Why? Because I got a couple more pictures to show, and this is how I waste my time. This right here, right? Personal thoughts time. I really like the way these came out. I don't know what it is about it. They look kind of plain overall, honestly. But the one thing is just nostalgia. Sometimes, very rarely, that wins me over. And I saw these and I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to have to pick a pair of these up if I can, right? Not giving you all the money you want for it, but maybe we can come to some kind of agreement on a sale or whatever. And they put that sale out there. $90 later, here we are. And when I opened these up and I looked at them, I was like, yeah, this is really cool. 9th grade Tristan is feeling pretty good right about now, right? So that's something to be proud of. I always say you got to wait a little bit to get those deals. I didn't think I'd have to wait all the way from 96 to 2024, but however many years that is. But hey, here we are, and it's working out, so yay me. But the thing is, right, that's only half the story, right? You got to talk about how they feel and all sizing and all that good stuff, because people like to hear that, right? So let's go ahead and move into that piece, and then we'll just wrap this thing up, call it a day, and I'll move on to these Foamposite 1s. Sizing wise, I bought these in a 9.5 because that's what I go with, right? My foot size is 9.5, so I always just hope for the best. I was a little skeptical, right? Because as this is a not trail shoe, I was looking at a trail shoe on the ground here. As this was a basketball shoe, it kind of makes me think it was going to fit a little bit big, because that happens a lot. But as it works out, these are fitting like pretty perfect, right? Not a whole lot of wiggle room in there or whatever, but it's good enough for me. I think they got a little bit narrow in the middle or something, but either way, for me, these are working out just fine. So I'm pretty good with that. Now, they might not have a whole lot of breathability in them. That's a factor. But it's not like I'm going to be wearing these for like long periods of time outside or anything like that. I'll wear them to work, and that's pretty much it, you know? I'm not out there on the court. I have no skills in any sport. You know what I'm saying? But back to the shoes, though. The comfort part here, that was a surprise. It's almost like when I got that pair of Air More Up-Tempos, right? They looked all clunky and big and like they were just going to be somewhat of a disappointment. But then I put them on. Same thing, like, you know, the Up-Tempos and these feel a lot lighter than they look. They don't feel all clunky and huge, you know? I don't feel like I'm like Wayne Head walking around with some weird boot on my foot, you know? And then even under the foot, like the actual comfort, you know, with that Zoom Air like I was kind of talking about earlier. Yeah, these feel like really good. And I was looking at them as I was walking around in this here apartment thinking, this is not at all what I expected, right? So I'm totally on board with these right here. I mean, the color is cool. The look is pretty cool. They feel good, right? They were cheap. I don't know what other colors they have in these because I honestly didn't really even know what this was called until like 4 months ago. But all in all, like this right here is shaping up to be like one of my favorite purchases. Might make it into that top 10 if I do one. So we'll see about that. But all that aside, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to cover. So from me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'm going to switch these boxes around real quick. And then, just like that, I'm ready for the next review. See, that's a little bit of that behind the scenes magic. I only show that to the special few. And when I say special few, I mean the few people who like actually stay after the on foot piece is done. Most people, they see that and they're like, okay, we're good, we're leaving. And I get it. I'd do the same thing if that was all I wanted. But you know, when I watch videos, I do watch end to end just because, I don't know, I just do. It's just a thing that I've always done. Even when I listen to music, I turn on the whole album. I don't go song to song, no. Full thing, every time. It's not always the best use of my time, but it's what I do. Thanks for showing up, watching this whole nonsense if you're still with me right now or whatever. If you are with me, let me know. What are the other colorways that were popular of this here thing? Because I'm mildly curious right now. Curious enough to ask, but not curious enough to look it up for myself. So, in case you were wondering, that's where we are right about now. Later, people.